Hello, good morning all. Today in this video we are going to discuss regarding XML RPC or web service in Odoo. So we all know that we are able to write, update, read and all the data from Odoo database from a custom module or from inside the Odoo. And there will be some case where we need to fetch all this data or we need to update the Odoo database or write into the Odoo database from external application. So in those case we can use the XML RPC or web service in Odoo. So let me go to the Odoo documentation first. So I'll search Odoo XML RPC here in the Google, and if I open this link I will get the Odoo documentation. So if I go to this file, here you can see this is web service API which is of Odoo 8. So I'll just change the version to Odoo 12. So here you can see external API, and if you read this introduction given here, Odoo is usually extended internally via modules, but many of its features and all of its data are also available from outside for external analysis or integration with various tools. So if you need to get the data from Odoo database to an external website, like if we have got an external website which is running in PHP language and we need to fetch all the products, that is we are running an e-commerce website in PHP and we need to fetch and or we are that is we have got a front end website in PHP language and we are using Odoo as backend, and to integrate in between these we need to fetch the products from Odoo database to display inside the PHP website. So in this case we need to fetching the products from Odoo database we can make use of XML RPC. So we will discuss that in this video itself, how to fetch values from Odoo database and how to read the data from Odoo database. So let's see how it goes. So here you can see we can these external APIs are available in different languages like Python, Ruby, PHP and Java, and if you click here you will get code samples also. So what we will do is that in this video we will create a Python file and we will run this Python file, and using that Python file we will fetch the data from Odoo database, we will update the data in the Odoo database and update. So we will all things will be done from a Python file, not we are going to create a custom module. So first of all I will go to my folder and here I will create a file. So I have already created a file here called external api.py. So I'll just copy this and I will create a new file using this, paste, and I will rename this file. So I'll just rename this file to external API, or I'll rename it as Odoo web service. Odoo web service. I'll just rename the file as Odoo web service and I'll just open this file here so that there will be some code. First of all I will just clear all the code and make it as an empty file. So we will start from scratch. So we have created an empty file called Odoo web service.py. So let's see what all things can be added here. So first of all we have to specify the URL of our database. Here you can see URL. We have to specify the URL, database name, username and password. So I'll just copy these 4 lines from here, Control C, and I will paste it inside the file that we have created. So URL. So to get my URL, so this is my Odoo instance running in my local, and if you have your Odoo instance running in server, you can just copy its IP. It doesn't matter whether it is local or it is in server. So just copy the URL. So my URL is 0.0.0. and port number is 8012. So I'll copy the URL, Control C, and I will paste it inside the file that we have created right now. So the URL is http://00 and port number is 8012. Next we need to specify from which database you have to fetch the data or update the values. So I have to get my database name. So I'll just activate the debug mode. So once the debug mode is activated, I can get the database name from here. So you can see the database name is VV. That is I have created quickly while I am creating a database. So my database name is VV. So I have to fetch or update the value from the database named VV, and I have to specify my username and password here. So I think my username and password is admin itself. So if I log out from the database, let me log out and admin, and my password is admin itself. So it's successful. So my username and password is admin. So I'll give it here. So we have set our credentials, that is we have specified the URL, database, username and password. So this is the database that we are going to use in this video illustration. So that has been set. So we will go to the Odoo documentation again, and if you scroll down, In the next step, what they are doing, let's see what they are doing. Let me remove. I'll just scroll down and see login in calling methods. So let's continue here. Before continuing here, let me check what all things has to be done. Import Xmlrpc client server proxy demo.com start username password. I'll just copy these lines from here, Control C, and I will paste it inside our file. So here I will paste it, common Xmlrpc dot client server proxy. So we have to import Xmlrpc dot client first. So it has been imported here. So I'll just copy import Xmlrpc dot client. So I will paste it here, that is import Xmlrpc client. That's done. And if I scroll down, common version, okay, let's print common dot version and see what we have getting. So we have done this much, and let's print this. So I'll assign this to a variable, that is version equal to common dot version, and I will print it, that is print details equal to version. So that's done. So what we have done is we have set our credentials here, that is URL to our database name is specified, username and password is given, and we have imported the library, that is xmlrpc.client. So you have to install the xmlrpc first, that is make sure that in your system the xmlrpc package is installed. So I have already installed and I have imported this, import xmlrpc.client, and you have to give this line, that is common equal to xmlrpc.client.server proxy. You can just copy this line from the Odoo documentation and paste it here. Then you can get version equal to common.version. So I'll click on Control S and save it. So I'll go to the terminal and I will just run this file and see what happens. So I'll open the terminal in this path and I'll just run this Python 3.5 and I'll just run Odoo webservice.py. As I'm using -m, there is no need of .py. So either you can use it or you can just leave it as Odoo web service. So I'll click on enter and see what happens. So we are getting a response, that is your server version is 12. That is I'm running Odoo 12. Protocol version is 1. Server version info, that is 12.0 final version. So we have got our details, that is I'm using Odoo version 12. So if you check the log here, you can see this is the response that we have got from this call. Where is our file? So this is the response that we have got from here, that is common.version, that is our version is Odoo instance is Odoo 12. So that we have got in our response. So let's go forward and see what's there inside that documentation. So we have got a response like this, and if I scroll down, calling methods. So let's see how we can call some methods. So let's take a case where we need to fetch the data from partner database. So let me copy these. So what we are going to do is that we are going to fetch the data from the database table. So let's do that. So models.execute kw database db we have set here, uid is there, password is there, and I'll just remove the domain that I have given here. I have removed the domain, and if you don't understand I will just explain. Let me arrange the files first. So models.execute, that's done, and trusted partner search. Okay, so here we have added a line, so we have to import the models first. So first of all we have to import the models. So here you can see models is this line, Control C, and I will paste it here. Models is equal to xmlrpc.client.server proxy xmlrpc2/object. So if you need to get a description about these calling methods, the second endpoint is xmlrpc/2object is used to call methods of Odoo models via execute kwrpc function. So to fetch the data from database or to update, we will use this endpoint, that is xmlrpc2object endpoint we will be used. So we have added a line, that is models equal to xmlrpc.client server proxy. The endpoint is given, format URL, and we are going to fetch the data from rest.partner table and search is given. So let's see what happens. So partners equal to that one assigned, and let me print this and see what we are getting. Let me print partners, and if I print the partners, Okay, I'll save it, control S. So that's done. So we are going to fetch the value from rest.partner table. That is, if I go to the Odoo UI and if I go to contacts, that is that model name of contacts is rest.partner. So here you can see this is the rest.partner table. If you check the URL, you can understand the model name is rest.partner. So we are going to fetch the value from this database table rest.partner, and here you can see we have got around 39 contacts in the database. So let's run the script and see what happens. So I'll click on clear to remove this data, and I'll just execute the script once more. And here you can see you have got an error, partners UID is not defined. So if I check here UID, I have to specify the UID. So let me go to the documentation, and there is some issues, that is we haven't specified the UID. So let me scroll down, db UID. So I think I haven't done authentication yet. So we have missed a step, that is we haven't to fetch the data from the value. Without doing the authentication we cannot get the value. That is, for authentication you have to do this step. First of all, you have to ensure that your database name and everything is correct. Right now we have set that URL db username and password, but we haven't verified whether it is right or wrong. So first of all you have to make authentication. So I'll do the authentication here. That is UID equal to common dot authenticate. So authenticate we will use for authentication. db username and password is given. db username and password is given. So let's see what we are getting in UID. So I have missed this step before. So let's see what is getting inside UID. I will print the UID. Control S, and I'll go to the terminal and I'll just clear it. And if I print it again, you can see UID is 2. That is, authentication is successful. So let's pass some wrong password. That is, my password is admin itself, and I have passed the password as admin123. And let's see what is the response coming now. I'll run the script again, and here you can see there are some errors. That is, it's not successful. You are getting error. UID is getting as false. That means you are passed a wrong password. So I'll just enter the correct password itself, and I'll click on Control S so that it will get saved. And I will run the script once more. So I'll clear it first, and if I run it once more, here you can see UID is getting us 2. That is, my password or my user ID is 2 admin. And here you can see as a response for fetching the data from this, that is, this is the code that we have added to fetch the data from the partner table. And as a response you can see we are getting all the IDs of the partners. So if you check, if you count this, we will have around 39. That is what we have seen here. We will get around 39 contacts. That is, 39 IDs will be there inside this. So let's go. Right now we are getting only IDs. So if I scroll down, so what we have done is, so till now we have covered authentication and we are able to fetch the value from the database. So right now we will get the response as like this. Suppose if you need to pass some domain, you can do it like this. Suppose right now we haven't passed any domains, we will fetch all the contacts. So suppose if we need to get only customers, like customer equal to true, we can pass like this, customer equal to true as a domain. Inside this, customer equal to true is given. So click on Control S, and I'll go to the terminal and I will run it once more. Python, yeah, I click on enter. So here you can see we are getting this much customers inside the database. So if you need to pass some domains, you can do it like this. You can pass the domain here, customer equal to true. And if I go to the documentation again, list records. So right now as a response we will get all the IDs. And if you need to do some pagination, like if you need to get right now as a response, we are getting this much IDs as a response. So if we do need to do some pagination, like we need to get only 5 response or 3 response, we can do some pagination. So here you can see by default a search will return the IDs of all records matching the condition, which may be a huge number. Offset and limit parameters are available to only retrieve a subset of all the matched records. So let's try by passing offset and limit. So I'll copy this offset and limit, and I'll go to our script and I will paste it here. So you can pass the offset and limit. That is, by default it will, there will be a huge number of record which satisfying the given condition. And if you need to do pagination or things, you can just do it like offset, you can specify 10 and limit 5. So let's see the change what we are getting right now. So I'll keep the response as it is. So this is the response that we have got earlier, and let's see what happens after adding pagination. So right now here you can see we are only getting 5 records, that is this one, that is 31, 23, 15, 34. So let's increase the limit, that is I'll change the limit to 2, that is I will get only 2 response. Control S, and if I go to here and if I run the script again, here you can see in the partners I will get only 2 records. Like that you can use offset and limit. So if I documentation for the count records, so using for getting number of counts you can use search count. So if I go to my script, here we have all used search. If you instead of search, if you use search count, you will get number of records. So let's try that. Control C, and I will paste it here. Let's use search count, and I will just remove the offset from here. Okay, and I'll just remove the customer also, that is empty domain. And partners count, I'll just update the variable, that is partners count, and here string also partners count equal to, I'll print the count of the partners. So to get the count of partners we can use the search count method that we are using in the Odoo API also. So same thing, you can use search here, it will give the search method all the records satisfying the search condition, and here we are using the search count and with an empty domain. And let's see what happens. Control S. So if I go to the UI, here you can see we have got around 39 records. So let's see whether we are getting 39 or not. So I'll go to the terminal, and from the terminal I'll just run the script. So before running the script I'll just clear the terminal, and I will come to Python 3.5 -m Odoo web service, and I will click on enter. So here you can see partners count equal to 39, which we are seeing here. So let's add one record here and see whether the count will get changed. So I'll just add test Odoo mates. So have added one more document in the one more contacts. So mobile and website is required. So I'll just enter a dummy mobile and website. So we have created a new contact. So the total number of contacts is changed into 40. So let's go to the script and run it once more and see what happens. So here you can see the partners count has been changed into 40 that we have created right now. So that's done. So we have successfully searched inside the Odoo database, and we are able to search using search count. So let's go to the further count records. You can use count method search count that we have already discussed, and read records. So earlier when using search we are only getting IDs. So suppose let's read the database, what all things are inside, we can use the read operation. So read operation, so instead of search we have to pass the read. So let's me go through it. So record data is accessible via read method, which takes a list of IDs as a returned by search, and optionally a list of fields to fetch. By default it will fetch all the fields current user can read, which tends to be a huge amount. So what we have to do is that we have to go to the script again, and I will copy, or I will just do one thing. I will go to the Odoo documentation itself, and I'll copy the entire things here, that is this one. Control C, and I will paste it inside our script. I will paste it here inside our script, that is records equal to, let me arrange this file. So we are going to db uid password restored partner, and we have to read the result of this one, that is the partners that we have already searched. So this read operation will be used as a sub of or next operation after the searching. So after searching we will get all the IDs here inside the partners. So using these partners we have to read. So inside here list I will specify the partners. I'll just update partner IDs. I'll just update the keyword here, or variable name partner IDs, and we have to read these partner IDs. So once we have searched inside the database, we have got all the IDs. Now we have to read these IDs, so we have to use read operation. So inside the read operation, that is here you can see we in the inside the read operation we have passed all the IDs that we have already searched. So here I will get partner records, that I will give the string as or variable as partner rec, and let's print this and see what happens. So I'll print it. So print partner rec equal to partner rec. Control S. So don't forget to save before executing the script. So I'll clear, and I'll just enter the or run the newly added script. So here you can see we are getting a response in a bulk format, I think there is some images, that's why this binary data is coming, so it's not a readable format. So once you do this, you will get all the readable fields from the corresponding table. So we can specify which all fields, like we need only get particular results. So here itself you can see it will fetch all the fields the current user can read, which tends to be a huge amount, so we have to adjust it. So here you can see conversely picking only 3 fields deemed interesting, so we can specify which all fields we have to get as a return. So I'll copy these here. So here you can see fields, and we can specify which all field values we have to read. So I'll copy this line and I will paste it inside our script. So after specifying the IDs, you can specify which all fields you have to fetch. So I'm just going to fetch only name, or we can specify name and ID. We have to get name and ID, or I'll specify either ID as first. So it will be ID comma name. So we are going to fetch only ID and name from the database, or we are going to read only ID and names. So earlier when we haven't specified the fields, we'll get a data like this. It will be huge amount and it's not in a readable format. So in the script we have updated it as we need to fetch only ID and name. So I'll click on Control S and I'll go to terminal and I'll just clear it. Obviously it's not looking good right now, so I'll click on clear button and I will run the script once more. So here you can see partner rec equal to ID 31, name is Oscar Morgan, and ID is another, next one is ID 23 and Soham Palmer. So let's go to the UI and search for the ID 23 and see what happens. So I have copied the ID, that is ID is 23. So now we will go to the UI and let me open any of the record, and I'll change the ID to, instead of 26 I'll change it to 23 and I'll click on enter. It will be Soham Palmer. So that's what we are getting here inside the terminal. So in the terminal you can see we have got the response, the name Soham Palmer, and 31 is Oscar Morgan. And let's see what happens if I change the ID to 31. It's Oscar Morgan. So we have got the response. So right now we have got only 2 response because in the script we have given the offset as 2. I'll change the offset to 10, Control S, and I'll just run the script once more. I'll obviously I will clear this and I'll just run the script again. I'll get 10 names. So for better understanding, I'll just iterate this over a loop for partner in partner rec, and I will print them. Print partner. Okay, I'll just remove the printing from here and I'll just iterate over the for loop and print one by one, so that it will come in a line. I'll click on Control S to save it, and I'll go here and I'll just clear it and I will run it once more. And here you can see this is the IDs that we have got. ID 31, it's Oscar Morgan, 23 Soham Balma, and like that we can get that data from Odoo database. So we have successfully read from Odoo database. Now let's go to next operation. So right now we have done it in a 2 separate operation. That is, first of all we have done search operation, and from the search operation we have got all the IDs. Then using those IDs here we have done the read operation, and we have got another method which combines both search and read, that is search read. So if I go to the Odoo documentation again and if I scroll down, and here you can see listing record fields. Where is search read? There is, yeah, search read. So this is the mechanism that I'm talking about. Because it is very common task, Odoo provides a search read shortcut which, as name suggests, it is equivalent to search followed by a read, but avoid having a perform 2 requests and keep IDs around. That is, we have can simplify the process. Right now we have done search method first, then we have to using that IDs we have to make read again. So there is a process called, or the Odoo provides a shortcut, that is search read mechanism. So let's try that. So I'll copy the code from here, this one. I'll just copy this, Control C, and I will directly paste it inside our file, and I'll just adjust the indentations. Search read. So here you can see it's search read, and domain you can pass. So right now I'll just keep the domain as empty, so I'll just remove the given domain from here, that is customer equal to true. So I have made it as an empty domain, and I can specify which all fields that I have to read. So I have to read name and ID. I'll just remove country, ID and comment. So before name I will specify I have to fetch the ID and name from the database, and limit is given as 5. So I'll just change the limit to 10. So I need to fetch 10 values from the database. So right now there is no need to do read and write operation separately. You can, instead of using that, you can use search read. So I will give a name as abcd, or you can give a variable abcd and rest of pattern, and see what we are getting inside abcd. So I'll just print search read result, and I will print it abcd variable. So we have done search read operation, that is with an empty domain, and fields we have to get is id and name with a limit of 10. So I'll click on Control S and I will go to terminal and I will clear this, and let's run the script once more. So here you can see what we have got. So this is the result we have got already, and search read result. So search read result is you're getting all the IDs, that is search and read is doing in a same operation. So let me iterate this over a for loop so that it will be in a readable format. So I'll copy the for loop here. So we have to iterate over abcd, and I'll ab, and I'll just print ab, Control S, and I'll go to the terminal once again, clear, and so here you can see as a search read operation we are getting the same result that we have got in the first. So this is how you can perform the search read operation. Now if I scroll down, you have got different options, like if you need to create records. So right now we have got 40 records. So let's take a case where you need to create some data inside Odoo database from an external source or external application. So let's see how we can do the create operation. So create operations, so it's simple. Here you can see records of model are created using create operation. This method will create a single record and return its database identifier, that is, it will create a record and it will return the ID of the created record. So let's try to create a new partner inside the database. So here you can see right now we have got around 40 contacts. So we will create one or two contacts from our script inside the Odoo database. So we will go to our file, and from the file I'll paste the code that I have copied from Odoo documentation. So I'll update the new ID, new customer, new contact. I'll place the name as new contact, and I'll adjust the line spacing here. I'll move this to first line. So we are going to create new contact models dot execute kw db uid password, and the model that we are going to create is rest.partner. You have to specify create method. So we are going to create the record, and before creating you have to specify all the mandatory fields in the corresponding model. So by default in Odoo, if you are creating a customer, it's only mandatory to give only name. So as we have extended the module in OM hospital module, it has been made, that is mobile and website has been, we have made it as a mandatory ones. So let's pass mobile and website also. So the technical name of the field is mobile and website is website. So let's pass that inside the script. So I'll give the name, so name as Odoo Mates, and we have to pass mobile and email. So mobile, I'll give the name as sorry, it's wrong typo. Mobile, you have to specify the mobile number, let it be 12345, something like that, and you have to specify the website value is test. So that's done. So we are going to create a new contact inside the Odoo. So I'll print this. So this function models dot execute kw, and this create, and this is the dictionary to create a record. So once the record is created, we will get the ID of the newly created record inside the new contact variable. So let's print the new contact variable and see the ID of the newly created record. Print newly created ID is I'll print this, and I'll just remove this print button which will make not looking good. So I'll click on Control S and I'll run the script once again. So I'll go to the terminal and I'll click on clear button first, and I'll run the script and see what we are getting. So newly created ID is 45. So we have successfully created and there is no errors. So newly created ID is 45. So let's go to the UI, and if I come back to the list view, here you can see the total number of count has been updated into 41. Earlier it was 40, and let's search for the ID 45. So as a response in the XMLRPC. We have got the ID of the newly created record is 45. So let's search the ID 45. And here you can see the name is Odoo Mates. Yes, fine. Mobile is 1234 as we have given inside our sheet, that is mobile is 123, and website we have given the website as test. So if I check here, the website as http.test. So we have successfully created a contact inside the Odoo database. So let's see if we didn't specify this one, that is mobile and website. So I'll just click on Control X. So if I didn't pass any value for required fields, Control S, and if I try to run the script again, I'll go to terminal and I'll clear it. I think it might be created because the required things I have given not inside the Python, it has been given inside the XML. Still it will be get created. Let me see. I'll run the script again. You can see newly created ID is 46. So it has been successfully created. But what the issue is that if you open that record, it won't be, we cannot make any changes without specifying it. So I'll go to 46 Odoo Mates. If I click on edit, you can see we cannot save it because we have to specify the value. So right now we have created successfully, we have created two con. I'll click on Ctrl Z. So I'll change Odoo Mates test. I'm going to create another one. Control S, that is Odoo Mates test. So right now we have already created two records. I'll create one more. Control S, and I will run the script once again. So newly created ID is 47. So total right now we will have around 43. Right now it's only 42. If I refresh or if I go back to the form view and come back to the tree view, it will be 43. So we have successfully read, write, and create in the database. And let's see what we have got inside the update records. So we have got update records again, update, delete, etc. in the things. I think we can discuss these things in another video, because if you go through this documentation itself, you can understand how it can be done. You can just go through it, and from here you can just copy the things and paste it inside the script, and you can check it. So I think we can wind up this video, or almost long, and it's 30 minutes right now. So you can just search, that is Odoo XMLRPC or Odoo web service. You can get this Odoo documentation and you can just go through it. And if you need any help or support in this case, you can just connect us over the social medias like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. Or you can just connect us over the email. We are happy to help you always. So just search for this external API Odoo documentation. You can get this file, and once you, this documentation is clearly explained everything, you can just copy the lines. That's, you can just copy the lines from here, paste it inside the script, and you can run it. So right now I am running the script. So right now I have created a file like Odoo webservice.py. It's given here, and I'm just running as Python 3.5 dot minus m. So either you can run like this, or you can just run like Python file name Odoo website, like that you can run. So my default Python is not 3.5, that's why I have specified Python 3.5 minus m like this. So I'm not specifying .py here because after running this I'm getting an error, so that's why I remove .py. So like this you can check the Odoo XMLRPC or Odoo web service. So hope this video give you basic idea about how to connect Odoo database. So using this external XMLRPC itself, we can transfer data between two Odoo database. So we will make those things in another video, like we have to cover updation, deletion, etc. So we will make a further video on XMLRPC itself and showing how to transfer data between two Odoo database. So stay tuned for those videos, and you can like the video and subscribe channel to get notified regarding all the upcoming videos. So right now we have done using Python 3, and if you switch to the Ruby, PHP, or Java, it's shown how to do this using those languages also. So right now, as we are Odoo developers and we are familiar with Python languages, I have chosen the Python XMLRPC. And if you have a mobile app developer, you can just go through Java documentation and see how it can be done to connect with Odoo. So right now we have got Python, Ruby, PHP, and Java. So that's all about this video. If you like the video, please do click the like button and subscribe to the channel to get notified regarding all the updates. Thank you.